We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, boom, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 121. Oh boy, it's been a little while now since we've recorded, but we are here to be back. Technically, you guys didn't miss a week, but we missed a couple. Anyways, it gets confusing. So let's go around the table, shall we? Joining us, my co-host down in West by God, Virginia, Luke. How are you, buddy?
Well, of not recording as far as time releases go, this will be way more up to date with a few things we'll talk about later. But just to say something that I saw, I want to come out firing, and this isn't anything in the docs because this is something that I saw. Are you aware of who Davante Adams is? Do you know who that is? Football player.
Yeah.
So he's a receiver that plays for the Raiders, and summarize, really good. He played for the Packers with Aaron Rodgers for a long time.
Good, yeah.
Got a traded to the Raiders contract, yada yada. He once traded, and I saw a thing literally before we came down here because I haven't really watched a lot of stuff this week or last week because my daughter's been cutting those molars in. Anybody that has had a kid that's teething, you've probably understand what I'm saying. So I was kind of looking at some stuff because he was on the sidelines and said, like he wanted to get traded. I guess that was already out there, but he said on the sidelines like of getting hit so much, like putting his life out there. I'm not saying that football is still not a collision sport, and these guys are amazing athletes and tough. I'm not saying they're not tough, but dude, like it's a different game now, and I think of like the receivers when we were kids. Like if you would say something to like Michael Irving or just somebody from that, I mean, even like I'm just saying, I'm a Tampa Bay fan. Keyshawn Johnson was our receiver. Yeah. I'm like these guys have to hear that and just be like, dude, fuck off. Like the rules are so much like they're still getting fucking hit. And I'm saying getting hit in the torso by these fucking guys. I'm not saying it's not still a rough sport, but dude, like, I'm like, how much are you really getting? I just saw that before I came down here, and I like Davante Adams a lot, so I'm not going to talk shit on him. But it just is a thing that it's showing in the age, man, because I come from a different set of rules from that I was taught and played myself. Obviously not to the NFL level, but watched same game.
So what you're saying is you reached the age of like old man yells at clouds?
Kind of, dude. And but it's still, I feel like it's not, I don't like to call that old age as much as the game has changed. But the game had to change because I don't want to go too much into it. The game had to change because if they still had the rules back then with the fucking capabilities and the size of these dudes now, they really might fucking kill somebody. Like, there's people this size. Myles Garrett is a defensive end, plays for the Cleveland Browns. He writes poetry. He's way deeper than football, but he is also a fucking freak athlete. He's like 270 that runs like a 4.40. You know what I mean? Like just shit that. So I'm not game may have had to change, but I just hear that and I always think like them receivers that played back in the day, and I mean way beyond Michael Irvin and them. I'm just like, dude, they would get. They used to get clotheslined, and it's fucking like they. Anyways, the work day was good. The work day ended. The week was a little ishish, but yeah, brother, I'm doing well, doing good.
Good. Good, man. Yeah, no, we'll get a little bit more into our work week in a little bit. Yeah, I mean everything's pretty good over here too. As my voice cracks, I'm sorry. I'm gonna apologize now if my voice sounds like I'm going through puberty at the moment, because I had one of my softball playoff games this past Wednesday, and it's it was a big game. It's a best of 3 series, so we played 2 games. We ended up winning both of them, thank God. So now we're going to the championship game, but you're constantly yelling and telling, after someone hits the ball, telling them to get on their horse and whatever it may be. And so apologies now if my voice cracks a little bit here and there. So. But yeah, no, the work week was good though. I mean, I can't complain, dude. And I'm enjoying the new route out there. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, I got so much more energy when I get home now because it's less stops. It's all that, and so it's good, dude. It's good. I cannot complain.
Yeah, I am happy for you getting that new route, man, because that is it is. I know we talked about it with Cam's episode, and now it's been a few weeks since, and more time for you to get acquainted to it, and yeah, it's good that you found it worked out, man, and that is. I don't know if it would be hard to excuse me. It would be hard to try to put it to somebody that doesn't do the job to try to explain it. If your route or just things like that you don't I don't know if people would think of, but if you don't like your route, it makes every day just like you know what I mean, because there's just certain stuff, and it's just like and I can say that he's not bitching. He isn't bitching, because there's shit that I was hearing him say on the phone, and I was like, what the fuck are they doing, man? That's fucking crazy. I'll just say that that route that he was on prior is tailor made for people that just start, that that are going to be running and burn it up, and just whippersnappers, man. That's not a route you want to be.
Yeah.
That's not a route you want to be on as you age. Not saying I know you're not close to 40 yet as I am.
I'm feeling it though.
You're getting there.
I'm feeling it. The body feels it. That's for sure. Like I was saying, the softball stuff, and what was it last week? I think was it last week? It was last week when I went and played paintball with Nate. And got invited to go play paintball with Nate. I'm sure some of you guys saw the picture of me and Nate that we shared there. And, dude, even that was like, what's so funny about paintball, too, is like, shout out to Luke, that dude Luke and man. I know he plays paintball, I believe. I saw that. But anyways, so the thing about paintball, too, is like, I wasn't planning on going hard, And we were playing on like a course with like that has like the inflatable like bunkers and shit like that, and they're called like Doritos and a snake. Like I learned all the terms from it, but so it's called like speedball. It's like a speedball court or something like that. I think they call it. And I wasn't planning on going hard, but I wore sweatpants and a long sleeve shirt, and it's just funny because when your quote unquote life depends on it, you're gonna run and you're gonna slide behind shit. You're gonna go hard because these people are just shooting down range these paintballs at you, and you're trying to run and dive behind a bunker or shit, or slide behind a Dorito. And so I was feeling it, man. Monday, Tuesday, I was sore. The legs were sore, the body was sore. And then Wednesday night, I had the back-to-back softball games for the playoffs. And, dude, so, yeah, I feel like I'm 40.
Dude, and it was, and it was funny to tell this story of just banging and bruising. I didn't go spar last Sunday because I was gone all day the day before. I had a family thing, and what I thought it was in Ohio, but it's actually Western Pennsylvania. A shout out to Teal College. But anyway, I was playing with Willow, and I have an ottoman in the middle of my living room, and I like fake fell on top of it, and I was fine, but I was like holding it on the side, looking to the left. So like my right hand, I didn't really. I thought I was closer. I was like right on the edge, and I don't know if it was just the cushion, but like I'm looking to the left, I'm not really paying attention, and I go to bounce up, like because I'm going to chase after Willow, and as soon as I do that, my hand slips, and like when I go to catch it, basically, I like threw an elbow down with all my weight on hardwood, and I mean. Until Wednesday, that shit was killing me. It's feeling better now, but man, I was sitting there thinking like, God, I would have been better off just going to fucking box, but I was hurting so bad. But yeah, but that took a lot longer. I was curious because that was like today we record, it's Friday, and it's finally feeling like pretty much about 100%, but like on Tuesday, so that happened Sunday, and like Tuesday it still was hurting real bad, and that's age thing. So I figured like I'd throw that in there because I was like, God, this still is killing me.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah, shit happens, you know.
Yeah, no, I know shit happens. That's for sure. So speaking of the past week, we got some stuff we want to talk about.
We got some shit.
I'm trying, literally. So, I mean, like, I was trying to remember, like, for some reason, we were laughing so hard at this. And we'll give you guys some insight on some of the phone conversations that we have. I don't even know how I'm trying to remember how we got to Mighty Mighty Bosstones, how we got there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
God.
I can't remember.
We were talking about something. So Mighty Mighty Bosstones is like a ska band, a ska punk ska band, and
I didn't know they were a ska punk band. I know we discussed this a little bit, but I had no
so the
clue.
one thing I remember about them is they have a dancer, and it's just one dude. He doesn't play an instrument. He doesn't sing, nothing like that. But he dances on stage with them. And the term on what they use for this style of dancing is called skanking. For any of you ska, punk, rock, listeners out there, it's called skanking. And I remember when I was trying to talk about this, and I couldn't remember the term skanking and what it was called at that time. I told Luke, I was like, yeah, dude, he's just up there dancing. Luke's like, I could do that, and all that. And I said, I tried to remember what it was called. And then when it finally came to me on the phone, I was like, oh, Luke, it's called skanking. He's like, skanking. Skanking. Yeah, skanking. And
you're killing my impression right now of my voice. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
No, and it was just so funny because I had to send him the video of the guy skanking, and it's literally this dude in a accounting suit.
And the crazy thing is that I remember seeing that guy because I told Dave I really heard of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones from the movie Basketball. If anybody remembers that one, the South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone did a movie, and that was when I first heard of them. They had Impression That I Get was like their big hit, and anyway, they were fucking good. But yeah, I learned something new and remembering in the 90s that was there's just some band I'm glad because I'd forgotten about the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. And it's fucking cool when you, because I had some of their stuff on Apple, but like I said, you just kind of get lost it gets lost in the library and you don't. So I ended up downloading a couple more, just kind of because we started talking about it, and it just I like when that happens because then it's kind of like almost a revisit to like you discovered them again almost. But
That happens all the time for me too.
But no, and they played
Skanking.
instruments, and they had a guy that played no instruments and didn't sing, but they also had these are in the docs, and I'm going to lead into something else because speaking of instruments, I think one of them probably played a trombone, and
one of them did.
And I don't know if this was ended up this might have been the same phone conversation. Nate was on this one.
It was,
but
I think it was.
I started saying I don't know how it got brought up again, but rusty trombone gets brought up, and I heard the term rusty trombone when I was a young buck years and years ago, as did Dave. Nate, I'm pretty sure the age gap between me and him didn't. I think he heard of it as well. But nobody really knew what the fuck it was. I always just assumed it was something with anal when I was like in 8th grade or 7th grade, whatever the fuck somebody first said the term. And I had no clue. I may not have heard that till who knows when the fuck I heard it at this point. But so we Googled it, and
we did Google it.
I mean, God, do you want to do the honors here in explaining what it is, or do you want me to do it?
So, it's basically, all right, I'm just going to put it straight, and I'm going to try my best to say it with a straight face. All right, a rusty trombone. I can still see the image of it when I Googled it. It was like a stick figure.
Oh, it's even fucking better.
So, a rusty trombone is when a man is standing, legs shoulder width apart, works within his power zone. No, I'm just kidding. It's when a guy standing...
Fucking
legs,
well, good placement.
Thank you. With his feet shoulder width apart, and a person is behind him, just, giving him a good old anal licking, if you will. And that's really all it said. Is the guy standing and someone's behind him, basically. So it's like all these questions started coming up.
But it was also they were giving at the same time a hand job, correct?
No.
What?
It didn't say that. That's what I came up with.
Oh,
shit. That's what I was about to get into.
I thought
that's
that was
really
the
all it
actual
said.
What
and
the
then
fuck?
we started elaborating more on it. So we were like, all right, like instead of licking, are they like blowing air
Dave,
in his butthole? And then just getting a good old reach around and just playing the trombone.
Dude, you're going to have to patent this shit. I can't believe you thought of that last part because it's genius. The trombone.
It makes sense.
It makes perfect fucking sense. That's incredible, dude. How did I miss that you added that on? I must have been delivering or actually doing my job or something. I don't know. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that's basically was all that it was. When you Google what's a rusty trombone. And
dude, these are 2 weeks worth of docs. You guys should have heard about this last episode if we would have recorded, but I'm so glad we didn't. God.
I mean, if you just want, it's just a rusty trombone is a sexual act in which a man stands with his knees and back slightly torqued with feet at least shoulder width apart to expose his anus when a partner is what was it called? Analingus?
Condolingus? What? Dude, I can't believe what's in this fight. This is going to take a serious turn later, and I'm fucking dying because this is literally.
Hold on.
This had to be brought.
Oh wait, this one actually has it. Wait, this one actually says it. It didn't say that, but this one actually does. A person typically kneels behind the man and performs analingus while reaching up beneath the scrotum or around the body to manually administer rapid back and forth motions of the penis. mimicking the motions of a trombone player.
Okay, I was gonna say, dude, if you thought of that yourself, holy shit, what have I been?
We're gonna get banned off YouTube for this because we're live right now.
Oh my god, dude!
Oh fuck! Ugh. Can you imagine if YouTube was like, "Nope, you're done"?
Holy shit, dude! I don't even. I just saw that in here, and I wanted to throw that because that was a thing that I now know so much more. I don't know what it came out of nowhere. It was just one of them things that was in the back of the memory bank.
Like you said it, and I was like, "Holy cow! I haven't heard that in like 20 years,
20 fucking years at least." Yeah, for me, it's probably been like 15 or 20, 25. I mean, Jesus, my math ain't mathing. Yeah, because I'm 39, so yeah, probably 25, 26 years for me.
So like I just mentioned, we're live right now on YouTube, and there's also a link in our Instagram story as well. So anybody that's here, thank you for joining us, and if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. All right. I don't know. That was a good laugh. Good way to start it off.
Dude, that was I can't believe that was we had that sitting in the docks for a while, and I'm so glad we got to it. But I'm just gonna go. Actually, I'll let you because I had to throw that in. We got so many. I'll let you pick. What do you want to dive into next?
Oh my goodness. Poop boxes. So we talked enough. We always talk about.
Here we are.
We're just sticking with the anal.
Yeah. We may as well jump to poop boxes.
You know. And I just had a question, and I'm not sure if anybody can answer it. Anybody. So my question is, do the customers know that they're receiving a poop box? Because I delivered one, and the guy literally, like, I gave it to him. The guy came outside to get the package. I gave it to him. It was a poop box. And he, like, looked so confused and was, like, flipping it around and shit, like, after I gave it to him, and, like, was wondering, like, what it was. Like, are doctors just ordering these things randomly for their patients because they're at a certain age and not telling them? Or did this guy maybe try to play it dumb, like, what the fuck's this? And, you know, just because he knew what it actually was. I don't know.
If I had to guess, and with my situation and experience in shit boxes, I would say there are times, a lot of times, especially if they're a little bit older, because honestly, I'm not too far away from the shitbox age. I think 45 is when they said. So I'm staring at shitbox age in about 5 years, and but if it's somebody I feel like that's, I mean, if they're older, because I feel like people in our age gap or age group have seen the commercials or are kind of aware. But if it's somebody that's a little bit older and they're married, I think I've had it happen before where and I would say it was their wife set it up, and they came out and, like, they set up the thing for them, and they don't have like, there's one particular instance I can remember. This dude was probably, he wasn't fucking elderly, but he was in his 60s.
He was there,
and he, like, said something and was all fucking, and he yelled. And she said, like, this was the shit for the screen. This is a shit box, more or less. And then he knew then, but he didn't know what the fuck. Like, he was like, because it had his name on it. And then he was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know what he was thinking was inside of it. But that would be my guess, is that his spouse, if he had one, may have set up the
ordered
order,
one for him,
because that's what happened to me with and that happened twice that I can remember, where it was like they had no clue, and then it was Their spouse set it up.
Interesting thought. Or maybe his doctor did, and he just forgot that he was getting one. Like
it could be, because I mean, it's not something I particularly want to do when I turn 45 or 46.
Heck no.
I eventually, when I need to get a family doctor one of these days, I still do not have one of those. My daughter's got a pediatrician and my wife has her doctor, but me, I haven't been. I mean, I'll laughably get a DOT physical every 2 years. Not to knock that process, but I'll just say it's not. You're not having to be in top condition to pass that thing. But yeah, it's something that need to look into. But yeah, I mean, it's just. I think people. I don't. Yeah, and I think maybe sometimes they maybe just they might just be embarrassed.
Right, exactly.
They might
That's
just be
what I was
embarrassed.
Thinking. He was just trying to play it off.
It was probably one of the two, because it's like it's a weird transaction. You're just like, hey, here you go. I know you're going to shit in this thing, and I'm probably going to get it down the road.
Come back and pick it up in a week.
Yeah, and it's just like it's a weird fucking. It is, dude. It's a weird interaction. It's I mean, especially when you're getting them back. Or somebody like, dude, I've always said that my favorite shitbox pickup was at the federal government building, where I had high value pickups, and I signed for a pickup that was $12,000, and it had a shitbox sitting on top of it that I also took with me. $12,000 shitbox.
Oh man, yeah. Real quick, just want to take this moment to say, if you haven't yet, if you're new here, welcome. And please go give us a follow on our Instagram page. That's where we mainly are. That's where we post everything. You can find us on Instagram at AITDpod. You can also go follow Luke at real_nomad_delivery_guy. So real nomad delivery guy. You could go find him there as well. Go give him a follow too. And keep up to date with, all of the stuff we try to post as much as we can, really. Obviously, you guys know with this job, it gets a little hard. So head over to Instagram, give us a follow there. I mean, we're also on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you want, we mostly are there. So also don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your podcatcher, huh? Get notified for new episodes. So
well done.
Thank you.
We've been talking. He put it in there so smooth. I'm not even going to say anything else because he said it all.
And so, speaking of new episodes too, obviously last week we had on Cam. A huge shout out to Cam for coming on, and Cam brought up something too, which was awesome. And I really don't think they get enough love, really, and that's our female drivers. And I mean, totally huge shout out to all the female drivers. I mean, they put up with fuck.
A lot of shit.
They put up with so much shit, for sure. And, it's not as easy for them. I mean, if you want to talk about, like, bathroom-wise for the guys, it's a little bit easier,
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, so just huge shout-out to the females because, especially, like, my building, we hired a bunch of new people, and I kid you not, there was more females than there was males that got hired. So the females we're starting to stack up here. So it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to see.
I think the underlying thing that I've always said is, like, when people would think, especially in a male dominated profession and stuff, people outside looking in, like they would look at me and say, like I'm 250 pounds. I used to be able to squat a shit ton of weight. And, they're going to talk about like 150, like heavy boxes. Cause I've heard that before, but
yeah,
what people don't realize is I did a video on this on Dave, just that I appreciate you shouting out my account too, but it was on my old page, so you won't find this on my new page. I had an old one that got hacked, and that's another story. But I did a video on female drivers. Like, I was kind of making fun of like dweeby dudes that would hit on them, and I've always that was always a thing. Like, they have to put up with a lot more shit than we do. I feel like there's the conveniences of bathroom and stuff is one thing, and then there's just like, you know, and I've seen videos before. I made that video I was just talking about. That got inspired by a video I saw where this dude was recording this female UPS driver, and he like wouldn't let her leave. Like, he wasn't being like she was in the truck in driving mode, like truck running, but he was like kind of he wasn't in the truck, but like on the side where the jump seat is, you know, and was just like saying, "Oh, you're beautiful," you know, and just and she was an attractive driver, but you're just sitting there and you're like, "Here you go." You're like, you know, I mean, you're on the job, you know exactly what you're doing. You want to get the fuck out of there, and that's just a small part. Like, I always said, like the bullshit that they would have to deal with misogyny wise, just outside, and I'm not even saying within work, I'm saying outside when they're on the road. Right. Yeah, man, they do the job well. We've had 2 retire. One of them was a Circle of Honor driver. Shout out to you, Donna. And right now we just I know I shouted her out last week. We've got one female driver in the building right now, Andrea, and she kicks ass. She gets slammed. I know she doesn't. They don't fucking take it easy on her. I'll just say that. She goes out with stops.
Yeah. So huge shout out to all the females that are in the industry here. It is keep on kicking ass. So
yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Well, how was the rest of the work week for you, Luke?
Well, I'm a little more calm now than I was, and there may be people that listen to this too, and I'm not saying this in like a tread lightly way or anything like that, because I'm really, at this point, I really don't give a fuck. But it is every building has the way that work distribution goes within certain drivers and others. And, you know, I bring up Disgruntled Doug a lot, and no matter what, I may always joke about stuff with him, but I learned a lot of how I do the job from him. I mean, obviously not the disgruntled part. I understand the disgruntled part at this point, but not like, there was a lot of things with Doug that he taught me on how to do. So I was always like, he might have been mad, but he wasn't like a pain in the ass. He got shit done. He didn't want to get like, he didn't give too much. He wasn't one filing grievances or doing anything like that. You know, he would just get fucking shit done. And he would always be like, you know, we're all in this together. People got to be, but it's always, you're going to be, he said, you'll see if you stick with this shit, there's going to be discrepancies and blah, blah, blah. And I have some extra shit that I've been getting on my route, and it's been making it a little bit more difficult. And it's not anything more than the neighboring route beside me. I'll just say this, because I don't know if he'll hear this or not. I've always considered him a friend, and I think he's a good man. He's helped me out more times than what he's picked me up for work when I've been broke down. He's helped me out when my battery's been dead. He's fucking not a bad dude. But to have a neighboring route, when you fucking, he can be it's a pain in the ass, because when stuff gets taken off, it goes there's only just me out there. So it's just like, it gets, I have times where I worked over 11 hours one day, but I had a drop box. Like, I wasn't getting in time for air. My route's close to the building, so when I have internationals on Friday or Saturday air, or I have overnights, I normally just drop it off. But I'm like, I'm not getting done before air goes out tonight, so why bother even giving me a drop box? I'm just sitting there like, I don't, and this is a thing I know everybody deals with in one form or another. You're either that person or you're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say is that I was mad this week, and well, it was really from last week. I was really pissed last week because there was just times where I feel like I shouldn't, but we have to figure it out at some point, and I'm not letting it ruin. I don't let it fucking bother me with any. Like I said, this dude that's a neighboring route beside me, he's a good guy, and I've gotten along with him for I've known him pretty much the whole time I've been at UPS. I've always gotten along with him. He knows he's a shit stirrer. He's not a fucking idiot. So it's not like I'm saying it to insult him or anything, but when you have different, it's just like but that also makes, because there's some people, he's also not far from retiring and stuff. So there's a lot of factors that can go in with every situation. That's the thing with this company. It might be we're all under one blanket, but every situation's different. You know what I mean? And you just have to. I guess you just have. My thing is, everybody's going to do what they're going to do, but the way Doug had kind of taught me, in a sense, is get shit done. You don't have to fucking stir, but don't let anybody fucking walk all over you. Let them fucking hear about it if so. So that's kind of like where I've been, and I was curious because I thought I was going to go. I thought I'd have a 9-5 grievance this week, honestly, and I did not. So they dispatched me under that. That's all I can ask. I'm on the fucking list. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
There's a lot more I could fucking do, but I'll say this for every driver out there, and you know this. Just you have to just do shit that you can control. Take care of yourself, But if you feel like you're getting wronged and you need to fucking say something, then just say something. Because, it's the worst thing you're going to do is just keep it as is.
Right. If you keep it as is, it's going to bottle up inside. It's going to keep bottling up inside. And then eventually that fucking top's going to blow off.
The problem, is
blow up on someone.
Just with the situation where we are, because we're at like the cutoff of the areas we cover, then another center has I've told you before, I've passed two of those guys before, and I always pull up. I'm like, oh, I don't know you, because they're from the other fucking building, Right. And so there's not really. There used to be a air route that would get that, and it got taken. That's really, once that happened is when all this shit really started. There's not a third route out there, so there's no hard feelings. I was fucking mad. I was pissed for a fucking few days, but I realized you gotta control what you can control, and don't let this place consume you, because this place can consume you, and you can get mad, and it can you don't want that shit pouring into your personal life or your relationships or anything with it doesn't matter if you have kids or if you don't have kids, if it's your friends, your family, it's just, I'm not much of a namaste guy, so it's fucking, when I wear my heart on my sleeve and I'm fucking mad about it. And had we recorded last week, I probably would have fucking worded this way different. So it's probably, I had 7 days to really stew down. So this week it wasn't a bad week. So I'm going to just move forward. I know Christmas is coming anyway, so it's
it is.
Fuck.
Fucking quick, but
peak season's gonna
already.
be here, right?
Fuck. Are you gonna do another live Christmas show? I mean, maybe not like 6 hours long. Like,
Well,
how long was that first one we did?
the first one we did. So the first one was. It was
It's like 4.
We did no, it was over 4. I think it was 5 because that was when
shit.
that was when so I'm trying to think. You and Bobby were on there. We had like a lobby. You remember we had like a lobby that we had. God,
and guests just kept coming in. We kept having people on.
And we literally
that was the first time we ever met Fernando.
That was the first time because we had a thing where if you wanted to come on, we had a thing for past guests and for listeners. If you wanted to come on the live, we had like thing that and just a message us and we'd get you on, get your email, and we met Fernando. And there's somebody else that we met on that became a guest afterwards. It may have been, it could have been Lars possibly, but it was like 5 hours long, and I'll never forget because at the end we had sent the email out to everybody, or I was sending the emails out, and I was fucking spent at the end of that. And we were about to wrap up, and Robert Cochran, shout out to you, brother, if you still listen, the inventor of the term bog, the basic average white guy, Robert Cochran, he sends me a message, and he's like, hey, you guys still going? I'll hop on. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, I think we're about to end this. And I couldn't say no because he was a guest, and I wanted to I didn't want to. He was a part of it, man. He wanted to be on. I wasn't going to tell him no. So I sucked it up for another, however long he was on, 5-10 minutes, and fucking God, it was a marathon, man. Like we couldn't do that again. I don't think I would be able to stay up that
way too long.
But the following year we did it, and it was a lot. I feel like if we do it, I feel like 2 hours is good.
Yeah,
2 hours is good. I mean, 3 depending. I mean, we could do 3. The West Coast, we have a lot of love on the West Coast, and we appreciate you.
Shout out to the West Coast.
They're 3 hours behind us, so we would.
Speaking of the West Coast, Andy's here in the chat. Andy Von Six.
Andy, awesome. Happy Friday, Andy. Holy shit, Dave. Did you have that pop up?
Yes, I had that pop up.
God, you fucking technology whiz over here.
So, huge shout out to the West Coast, man. We love you guys. You guys show us so much love.
Yeah, man. Always have.
Yeah, dude. I would love to do it again this year. That would be awesome.
What day does Christmas fall on this year? Do you have a calendar right up?
I absolutely do. Christmas this year falls on a Wednesday.
Oh, wonderful.
We're smack dab in the middle of the week.
Fucking right in the middle of the week, huh? Shit.
Which means January 1st, smack dab in the middle of the week as well. All right. Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, we could definitely try and plan something for the weekend before.
Maybe that Saturday, because I know it always had to be a Saturday for for people working and stuff.
I mean, those Monday through Friday drivers don't have to work Saturdays no more, right?
Now, spoiler alert for that, I'm going to probably work some. The only one I'm for sure going to take off because I don't think they would not let me is my birthday. My 40th birthday is December 6th, so that's on a Friday this year, and I don't think I could get out of. If I work Saturday, Ashley would be so mad at me. So I will probably take that one off, and then I'll be I don't know. I'll see how it goes. I'm curious with PVDs and stuff. Like if I'm working like I have the last few years, I'll probably work most Saturdays because the last few Christmases I've worked less than 6 days, and I do normally in 5 days the rest of the year. So I'm just saying, that's how it's been here. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated. We would love to do another Christmas live for sure. That was a blast.
Oh, man. dude. We got the stuff.
We got a little bit of everything today.
There's a little. We have the bottom of this is sports related. So do you want me to do you want me to go into? Actually, is it time for me to talk about the oil change? My friend, there is a guy that listens to this podcast now and is a dear friend of mine. This story isn't about him. But
No.
I'm shouting you out, Jake, because he said to me, "Do I tell any Fairmont classics on here?" And I said, "I probably have told a couple over the years, and this one, fate just happened to happen while Dave and I were on the phone discussing shit podcast-wise, and I see an old friend of mine that I played football with, and he works at a place that I deliver to, and we're obviously going to keep everything anonymous on this, but we so I'm talking to him, we're reminiscing, we're bullshitting on old times, and actually, come to think of it, I don't even know the way he was talking. I don't know if he does work there anymore, or if he was just kind of being whatever it was. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I was fucking. We were just bullshitting and everything, and then as I'm leaving, Dave, I was telling him, I was like, "Oh, that's one of my old football buddies," and I tell him that, God, and anybody that hears this local that knows me that played on this team is going to probably piss their pants because they're going to know who I'm talking about. But like I said, this has all got to stay anonymous because I'm not going to having my boy relive. He probably, I mean, this was like a Temu version of an oil change, but an oil change happens when this had become so common in my fucking mind that I just assumed that Dave knew what an oil change was. Ashley didn't know.
No, we are not talking about the car, obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Ashley had no idea what an oil change was either. Well, she said she heard of it after I explained it, but she wasn't aware. So I feel like maybe oil change,
sports enhancing drugs. Let's say that.
Maybe oil changes aren't as common as I thought they were. But maybe so. Anyways, it's when you stick as a. I'm not sure exactly. I guess with a catheter, something you stick a catheter in your urethra, and when it hits your bladder, the piss will just come out. Now you gotta stick that thing in there deep till it hits, man, and it fucking so your bladder empties, and then you take a syringe of clean urine and you put it in your bladder. Hence, you got an oil change. So. I can proudly say that I never did PEDs. I never did any steroids or anything. I was gonna say the only drugs I ever did back were the ones that weren't performance enhancing. But we were under the NCAA rules, so we would get randomly drug tested. And so when they pick you, they pick 15 people, and so we had like 100 guys on our team. So you got you do the math there. They pick 15, and from what I understand, they would only test a couple samples of that. They don't even test all 15. So I was telling Dave, I was like, basically you had like a 1 in 50 chance of your piss actually being tested. I feel like, but when you go in, you have to. There's like a panel. This is like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's a panel of these elderly people. I mean, they're old, and they work for the NCAA, and they were. I mean, this may all be different now. You got to remember, this was 20 fucking years ago, just about. So I don't know if the process is any different now, but So you walk in there, and then you see him sitting there, and and when you piss, you have somebody go back and watch you, and they watch your fucking dick, and they watch you take a piss into this cup. So you are not fucking slipping nothing. You know what I mean? So, so this guy comes in, and I'm just gonna say, I'll do the math, so you don't have to, folks. He was using, and he was a big fucking dude back then, and you would look at him and probably think jacked, yes. And he comes in pale fucking white, his eyes are all big, and he's looking like he saw a fucking ghost, and he's got his legs together like his knees are touching, and he's like fucking walking all weird. he had
sweating and shit.
God, I can't believe I'm telling this story. Jesus. And he had his girlfriend pee into a contact lens solution bottle, and he took the contact lens solution thing and stuck it in his urethra and just squeezed that piss in his dick, which is not how you're supposed to do an oil change. And he came in, and he said, "I got to go first, man. This shit's falling out of me." So we just let him go first, and he passed. And so as far he didn't do steroids, so maybe I'm just lying. So I mean that was basically it. But
it's like,
I can't believe
that could cause an infection. Like, fuck.
I always laugh because we always used to say, like, what if she'd have been pregnant? And they would have been like, "Hey, you're pregnant, Mister.
You're pregnant, dude.
Mr. Anonymous." God, yeah, I so can't ever say his name. Fucking Jake. Jake's gonna die. He's gonna laugh so hard when he hears this. But man, I can
just picture, dude, like this jack dude come walking in,
like
his
eyes
fucking
like
knees
this,
shaking and shit.
His knees were locked
he's
together.
Trying to hold it in because
hold the piss in his dick because he just squeezed it in
that
there.
He squeezed up his fucking pee hole with a Visine bottle because
fucking
is leaking out.
Fairmont Classic, Dave. Dave. I was gonna say, he asked me. I'm fucking this dude, and I never, like I said, you can say laugh. He's a really good guy. I fucking. There's one thing I can say
we
with
all make
people
mistakes.
that like, dude, he's not a bad person. I knew a lot of people back in the day from lifting weights and with football. I don't think that steroids has. I think it has a certain stigma to it as far as, and this is just my experience. I know everybody can say, but I've known a lot of people that have sauced out. I can say I've probably fucking over 100, I would say, in my lifetime. And most of them, I feel like if they, like the roid rage type aspect, like there's a lot of dudes I knew that did that shit were fucking teddy bears, but the ones that would get crazy were fucking crazy anyway. But anyway, yeah, that I can't believe I just fucking busted that out. I just saw him with Dave. I was like, so we got to bring it up. So that was the story of the Temu oil change, but it worked. Or like I said, maybe
which is
he
even
was
more crazy.
Maybe he didn't do steroids at all. I'm just trying to help my boy out, keeping it in there. He'll never. God, I hope this will be the fucking episode he listens to, and he's gonna just want to kick my ass the next time he sees me. But dude, it's just too good of a story. It's steel trap memory, dude. That's something that's burned in my brain forever because that was the only drug test I ever had to take. Then I played for 3 years and. They did it random every year, so I got one of my 3, but that was the only. But yeah, that is. So we're learning about oil changes and rusty trombones today, folks. I hope that you've
Thanks
been
for joining us, class.
Yeah, I mean, this is information that you can use out for safe delivering and driving. It's gonna be so good, but
God.
To keep it, I'll go ahead and go with the next one because we had two pretty big sports figures pass away this week in Dikembe Mutombo and Pete Rose. And I'm going to say a little bit about Dikembe because I mean, Pete Rose played when I was alive, but I was too young to really remember Pete Rose playing. Dikembe Mutombo, though, I watched most of his career, and it's weird now because I can remember as a kid when like old, I'd say legend players. I don't want to use that term fucking loosely, but Dikembe was one of the best defenders of all time. I think anybody. So, like, I can remember my dad talking about players that, like, when they passed away when I was a kid, and I remember how, like, he would say, I remember them play, and it's weird because, like, being that age now and seeing these guys that I grew up with and stuff, and, like, he had brain cancer. He wasn't in good health because he was only 58, but he dude was always known for the no. He would always fucking swat shots.
Oh, yeah.
And he even did a commercial recently with that fucking. It was, well, I can't remember the fucking commercial, but he was in it swatting shit at the grocery store. But to fucking rest in peace to Dikembe. I watched you with the Denver Nuggets, the Atlanta Hawks. I watched you play Shaq and Kobe in the finals. And I was pulling for Shaq and Kobe. No offense. I did love Allen Iverson, though. But rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo because you were a fucking legend. And to Pete Rose, I feel like I have so much in common with him in the worst way because it just he gets just tied with betting. So I've always had an interest in Pete Rose, even though I don't really bet too much anymore. I did for a long time, and I've always been fascinated. Kind of just, it was always an interest of mine. I wish I would have had a fucking other passions, but you know, it is what it is. But they just had a thing on HBO, like a little docuseries. It literally came out earlier this year called Charlie Hustle, and I had watched that. And dude, it's crazy to me that somebody that is that good that did something that is so fucking unfathomable to think of, to have you know, over 4,200 hits in baseball. Yeah. They always say the hardest fucking thing to do in a sport, everybody says, is to hit a fucking baseball. I don't know if you've heard that, Dave, but I've heard that said, that it's one of the hardest things to fucking, like, you know, if you hit 3 for 10, you're a legend. You're hitting 300. 3 out of fucking 10 people say it's incredible. So but dude, he, even in that docuseries, him as an 81-year-old, he does shoot himself. He was flawed. He was definitely flawed, and he does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, though. I don't, like, it was always he never bet, and I want to bring this up because this is what I want to say with the current shit, because we're going to talk a little bit about sports betting for a minute. And he never bet against his team ever when he was the manager of the Reds. He just bet on them to win. The guys he called in the bets to, they confirmed that. I'm not saying it was fucking right. It was still against their fucking rules, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be suspended or fucking, you know, banned from baseball, whatever. Yes, it was, but you know that dude, that guy for the Dodgers, Ohtani, and that all that shit with his interpreter. So I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but there were 3 games that they showed where that Ohtani's interpreter put in these bets. And all 3 of these games, Ohtani was pitching. Yeah. And he just happened to shit the bed in all 3 of those games. You know, coincidence? Maybe. But, dude, like, that's the thing. I don't know. As a bettor, I'm just going to say this as a sports bettor, somebody that did it for a very long time, there's nothing you can do probably in any sport to control the outcome of a game than be a pitcher in a baseball game.
Yeah.
And the fact that Pete Rose got banned for life for betting on his own team and betting to win as a manager, and here's Ohtani fucking, possibly throwing fucking games, and he's still playing. There's that fucking interpreter went down, and it's just all swept under the rug now. And and Pete Rose even said it in that docuseries that he'll get put in the Hall of Fame after he's dead and he's passed away. I swear he said that. So that I think he'll finally get in there. But he definitely wasn't perfect, but he was a pretty awesome figure in sports. And I'll tell you honestly, one of the first times that I remember Pete Rose, I don't know if you remember this, but he got tombstoned by Kane at one of the wrestling pay-per-views, dude. He was in Boston, and this motherfucker, this was before Boston won the World Series in like the early 2000s, and he was saying shit like, he was like, you all can't win a World Series. He's like, I had tickets for Bill Buckner, but he couldn't bend over to pick him up because he was the one that blew like a grounder back in the day for them to win a World Series, or I forget what the fuck but Bill Buckner is a revered figure. Yeah, Kane came out and fucking tombstoned him. They went nuts. But that was one of the first times I didn't really know Pete Rose was. I remember that was kind of the first time I was introduced to him. But rest in peace, Pete. Had to fucking bring that up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well said. Well said. But sticking with the sports theme here, baseball. Playoffs. Playing in October. The fucking New York Mets. They played that back-to-back game in Atlanta. And, there was one game, the first game. I mean, there was a lot on the line for them to make the playoffs. Like, they had to win one to make the playoffs. Or, excuse me, the wild card, if you will. And that game went back and forth, back and forth. It was a seesaw match. And somehow the Mets pull out, like, one of the biggest wins almost probably in history of the organization, and end up clinching the wild card spot. And now Atlanta just needs to win one game to also make the other wild card spot. And so, of course, the first game happens. The Mets win in a very dramatic fashion. And
crazy, dude. Just checking it on my phone was crazy to watch. Yep. So, yeah.
And then, the second game, because it was a doubleheader, the second game, the Mets barely played like any starters because they're like, we're in. We don't need anybody to get hurt. Right. And the Braves end up winning that one to get in. Now you move on into the wild card game, best of 3 series. Atlanta Braves get why isn't that word coming to me right now? The Braves get
Padres?
Or no, the Braves. The Braves lost.
The Braves
lost. Yeah. And the Braves got eliminated. That's what I'm looking for. Thanks a lot. David.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah, the Braves got eliminated from the wild card in the best of 3 series, and the Mets win the first game, lose the second game, go on to play the third game. It's 0-0. The only 2 hits the Mets had going into the 7th inning was from Francisco Lindor. Linsanity, if you will, if you're a Mets fan. And so the reliever for the Mets, the bullpen comes in for the Mets pitchers, gives up back-to-back home runs. Now it's 2-0. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. They were playing the Milwaukee Brewers there in that wild card game. And it's 2-0 now Milwaukee. Milwaukee needs to win to move on. The Mets need to win to move on. It's 2-0 now, bottom of the 7th. The Mets get out of that. after giving up back-to-back home runs. And I'm like, this is it. This is the end of their season. And I got up. I left the TV on, got up off the couch, went to shower, get comfy. I come back out. It's the top of the ninth. The Mets are up 3-2. And I'm just like, what? Like, what happened? They only had 2 hits that entire game, all from one player, from Francisco Lindor. And now it's 3-2. And it's crazy because the Mets started rallying in that 9th inning. And who hits the home run to bring the Mets up to the lead in 3-2? That's right, as some would say, the polar bear himself, Peter Alonso. The guy whose contract is up after this year.
Boy, what a time to hit that one.
What a time. The biggest home run of his career, no doubt. And then the Mets even put on an extra as well in the 9th, and it was 4-2 going into the bottom of the 9th. The Mets close it out to move on to play the Philadelphia Phillies. And by the time this is gone and aired, the Phillies have already played at least 1, maybe 2 games. So, dude, I mean, what a time to fucking be a Mets fan, dude. And all season long, the Mets have just been winning games like in the last inning or 2.
Have they ever won a World Series? The Mets?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I figured they did. I just didn't, just for somebody that's not within the state, you always, anybody when they think New York baseball, they're always going to think of the Yankees. I like the fact that the Mets are in and doing well just despite the fucking Yankees. And I really don't even have that big of a problem with Yankee baseball. Just some of the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry is all over the country, I think, because I haven't been everywhere, but I've been to a few places, and I'm from West Virginia, and we had people fucking fight over that shit here. We had Red Sox fans and Yankee. They're everywhere, man. It's
true.
I always get interested when you have skin in the game with the Mets. Now it's piqued my interest, so I'm pulling. I got the Mets and I got the Padres because shout out to old Ernie Martinez, man. He's a huge Padres fan, and I've told him the Mets are in. Are they National League? Yeah, they are National League, so they would have to. Them and the Padres would have to. They couldn't meet in the World Series then, but. Hey, if they get to the NLCS, man, fuck it. That'll be a hell of a. I'm pulling for them, man. I hope they do it. You got that, and then you'll be rolling right into your favorite time of year.
Yeah.
Speaking of New York sports,
that's right. I mean, what a fucking time, huh? To be a New York sports fan, shit. Because the Mets are moving on. The Rangers season, the Rangers. Hockey season is about to get underway. Preseason's already started. They all that, but the Rangers regular season now is about to get underway, which gets me super excited. Their first game is actually Wednesday, October 9th. So this Wednesday, if you're listening. Early in the week. And speaking of hockey, too, I also want to say this, too, and I'm super excited for this. This actually just got released tonight as we're recording on this Friday, October 4th. On the Amazon Prime video, for those of you guys that have it, Amazon Prime has released, actually, an NHL docuseries called Face Off Inside the NHL, where it's focusing on select players in the middle of the season. So you get to see a whole nother side of these athletes. And it's going to be awesome. Episode 1 is with Toronto Maple Leafs player William Nylander and Boston Bruins player David Pastrnak, which is a huge rivalry between the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs when it comes to hockey. Episode 2 is called As Tough as It Gets. It's featuring Jack Eichel and Philip Forsberg. Jack Eichel is a member of the Vegas Golden Knights, where Philip Forsberg is a member of the Nashville Predators. Then episode 3 is focusing on Jeremy Swayman. This one's gonna be interesting for those of you guys that are hockey fans. Boston Bruins goaltender Jeremy Swayman. His contract is currently up, and he doesn't have a place to play like right now. And the Bruins fucked their goalie situation because they had two great starting goalies, really, Jeremy Swayman and Linus Ullmark.
Oh, they fucked that up.
And they lost Ullmark or traded him, and then for some reason never signed Jeremy Swayman yet. And there's been shit said. It is an absolute mess. I don't know all the details, but it is an absolute mess with them. So it's gonna be interesting to watch episode 3 with Jeremy Swayman on it, and it's also with Matthew Tkachuk as well. Episode 4 has got Quinn Hughes, Gabriel Landeskog, and Jacob Trouba. I'll obviously be looking forward to that one because Jacob Trouba is a member of the New York Rangers. So I get to see the whole side of defenseman, captain of the New York Rangers, Jacob Trouba. Then episode 5 is Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman. That is the 3 big star forwards in Edmonton for the Edmonton Oilers. That's going to be a fun one to watch as well because the Edmonton Oilers did go to the Stanley Cup Finals and lost. So I'm sure those cameras were there when they lost that game, the final game of the Stanley Cup Finals. And episode 6 is called Cup or Bust, featuring Connor McDavid and Matthew Tkachuk. So I'm looking forward to watching that. Like I said, it's on Amazon Prime Video if you want to check it out, called Face Off Inside the NHL. Looking forward to watching that one soon. So, yeah, dude. Hockey season starts. Mets baseball's in full swing in October. Like, whew.
West Virginia is mediocre, but I'm still here for it.
Not going to lie, I was pretty impressed with what I just said. I don't know if anybody else caught that. Mets baseball's in full swing in October. Whew. I didn't even mean to do that, but
Prophecy.
It came out and I was like, fuck.
Prophecy.
Look at me go.
Mr. October.
Look at me go.
Shout out Reggie Jackson. Holy shit.
Full swing. Mets baseball, swinging a bat. Okay, anyways. Guys, we've been going on for a while. We got a lot to talk about. Hour and 12 minutes so far. But now, finally, we're going to get into the fan favorites here. And that is the question of the week. So, let me pull it up here. Excuse me. And this one is, the question of the week is, if you could choose any fictional character to be your helper, who would it be and why? Let's get into it. This one, we got a few comments here. This one's from Gimme More Cosplay. Says Lucio from Overwatch. He'll DJ our day, but gives us speed boost so he can just run all the stops at once. That's good. That's good.
That'd be good. No OT, but that's a good one. I'm just kidding.
No OT. This one here is from that dude Luke in says, no, he says, I have to go with Nightcrawler from X-Men. He could just teleport himself everywhere with packages.
That's a good one, too.
That is a good one. I like that one. Next up, we have our one and only DHL driver, Rickstar. Rickstar says, Vegeta?
Yeah, I don't know. What's Vegeta?
Who is Vegeta?
I don't know.
Anybody know who Vegeta is?
Vegeta? Vegeta?
Vegeta is a fictional character. Anime.
Oh, okay.
Fictional character from the manga Dragon Ball.
Probably fast as fuck, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Next up is the Cowboy Cardboard Warrior. I don't know if I can say it on here. Probably Quicksilver.
Is that Quicksilver? I was thinking Silver Surfer. I'm sorry, I'd fucked up. Quicksilver. What's Quicksilver? Why am I having drawn a blank?
Quicksilver is a fictional character from the Marvel comics. He's a speedster who becomes a heroic avenger.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
I gotcha. He's fast.
Gone. But so far, teleporting though. I think teleporting would be good. Nightcrawler so far. But they're all great answers. This one here is from Old Bald Bearded Bastard. Says Duke Nukem. He would constantly be saying, don't have time to play with myself. I love that you picked that just for the comedy aspect and not so getting the job done.
Hey man, this is coming from a guy that had I forget. I'd have to ask him, but he definitely let his building in backing distance. I feel like he did better than that. It was like maybe the division. So I'd expect nothing less. Old bald bearded bastard.
Yeah. And who would you choose, Luke?
I would say, man, it would be. I mean, as a fictional character, I would honestly, I'm going to go with Magneto. And I'm just going to say with Magneto, because obviously not every package is metal, but he could just lift us up and just kind of sling us around safely, of course. But yeah, I really say Magneto more because I've always had this, call it a fantasy, if you will, that when I've been driving behind somebody slow as fuck and I want to move him out of my way, I'd have the power to, like, I'd just stick my hand out and think I could swipe him away because like Magneto can do with a car. So it's probably more for that aspect why I thought of Magneto. I don't know if I'd use. Yeah, I'd probably use him. I'd probably use him for that too. Out on the road, clear the fucking highway off.
Oh man, I don't know who I would pick. Maybe Spider-Man. I feel like that could be fun.
Spider-Man would be a good one. That'd be a good one. He moves fast.
Right. It was a toss-up between like Spider-Man. And you know what? Let's go with Spider-Man. You know why? He can get to the top of the building real easily. So especially if you're delivering like in a city and you got a delivery for like the fucking, I don't know, 95th floor.
Right.
Boom. Just web yourself up there. My other choice would have been Sonic.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Oh yeah. But I don't know how much, I don't know how many packages he could carry.
Yeah, I guess being a hedgehog, he'd be limited. You couldn't be giving him 120-pound fucking dresser.
Right. Fucking mattress.
Yeah, or a mattress.
Because that one was so short, let's do another one. Because we got a couple that are in the that are in the post here. So let's go to the next one. Let's read this one off too. Have you ever had? Oh, hold on a second. I forgot to do this, shall we? This one is, have you ever had any wild animal encounters on the job?
Holy shit.
So this one is going to be fun. There's a lot of good ones because people were telling stories. So this one here is from Give Me More Cosplay. Says, every day we have buck, deer, peacocks, turkeys, etc. I know I have coworkers that encounter bears and mountain lions. Okay. Fuck encountering mountain lions. Fuck that. Can't. Not a chance. No.
Do you not have mountain lions where you're at?
No.
No shit.
I'm aware of.
I thought they were up there.
We have black bears.
Climbing in your windows, snatching your people up. I thought that.
Dude. That's
little Antoine Dotson slide in there. I thought mountain lions were in your area.
Maybe further north, maybe up in the higher mountain elevations, but yeah, fuck that. Oh, she also said, or Give Me More Cosplay also said, add on moose now. And mooses as well. Where are they located? Next up is that dude Luke and Man says, there were two tom turkeys that lived in a relatively nice neighborhood that always would ambush and attack anyone outside. For 6 months, they would chase down any delivery truck they saw and would try to spur and attack us. Had a homeowner sick their dog on them one day while they were trying to spur me and saw them chase residents into their house multiple times. They are no longer around, so I guess someone finally took care of it.
Good fucking riddance, man. Fucking
Good
turkeys.
God. Fucking turkeys.
I know, and they're fucking big, dude. I got clawed or got pecked by a turkey not too long ago. That fucking bastards are aggressive, dude. Whatever happened to those turkeys, I wish I'd have fucking... I'll just say this because I know this is we got a lot of responses on this one, but I'll say when I got pecked by that turkey, I was so pissed off at myself for not... I was trying to hit it. I had permission to hit it from the owner, and when I tried to, because that thing's feathers, when it fucking spread out, like I couldn't find like its base, and I was so mad because I kept glancing off of it. I just had a vision of me just uppercutting this fucking thing and sending it flying through the air, but it was a big bastard. But anyways, yeah.
This one is from Porno Parcel. What up, buddy? He says, when I first started delivering, I delivered to a house that had a rooster that was used for cockfighting. One day, the rooster was out and chased me over the fence. My on-road supervisor, who was with me at the time, said, "Next time, just kick it." I turned to him and said, "Could you imagine that? Customer calling up the center and saying, 'Hey, your driver kicked my cock.'"
I saw the caps of that. Just was waiting for the end. I fucking love it.
This one here is from B-Rad Mo. Brad says, parked in a parking lot in the Everglades, always backed up to the front of the business, sitting in the cab, poking around on my phone, answering texts because my next stop is an hour away. A lady comes walking right up against the driver's side of my truck because there's about an 8-foot alligator 30 feet from my truck. She gets to my door, looks up at me and says, "Do you think that thing will do anything?" I replied, "What? That little guy? Nah. He's as afraid of you as you are of him. I'd personally be more worried about that guy." And I point to the 10-footer she never noticed, but was walking directly towards. She was standing maybe 4 to 5 feet away from him at this point. She screamed so loud that thing bolted. And I laughed. Dealing with crocodiles and alligators?
I can't say I wouldn't have fucking screamed, man. I'd
Fuck right.
I mean,
I'm screaming if I see a snake by me.
No, I won't do that. But alligator, I will. Fuck.
This one here is from Daniel the Warrior. What's up? Daniel says, "Yo, so I was driving through the barrio."
Yeah.
The barrio on my route.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Maybe.
And I see a big crow flying across the front of my truck. And I tried to slow down, but the homie wasn't fast enough. Crashed into my windshield. It was loud AF. And then I look in my mirror, and he was on the ground. Low key kind of ruined my morning.
Dude, I get that, man. I've ran over a couple, man. I'd ran over a fucking little fawn deer with its spots on, and I was sitting there, and I was like, "Oh, maybe I didn't see it because I couldn't see it out of the side mirror." And then the next day, I went by and it was laying dead on the side of the road. I was like, "Oh fuck." I get it, dude. It fucking sucks when you do shit like that.
It does. This one here is from Swollen Gorilla. What up? Says, every day there's a bunch of key deer on my route, and they're super invasive. They come in the truck when I stop, and when I walk towards a stop, they follow me.
Ooh, not skittish
key
deer. That'd be
deer?
interesting.
What are key deers?
Dude, they have there's different species of deer. I'd say if I had to guess, it probably looks similar to the rest, but there's different. There's all different types. I never realized this till very recently.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy to come right up into the truck. This one's from Will Flow. Will says, this one stop I had was at a farm. The customer said, "I'll meet on the driveway." So I started walking, and an emu started to follow me from behind a bush.
Fuck.
He was on the other side. He was on the other side of a railing, but still scared the crap out of me. The customer laughed, and we had a good joke about it. As I walked back to the truck, the emu stared me down like he wanted a fight. It was crazy.
Dude, I've said that I have a stop where this guy has emus, and he's got a sign up that says, caution, stay out. Emus don't like strangers. And those fucking things and their claws. Dude, I still think I could take one, but it would be, to have to grab it, dude, that thing's going to claw the fuck out of you. So I wouldn't be trying to take one on for sport. I'll just say that. Be survival.
Survival of the fittest. This one here is from Logan Kinross, sorry. Logan says, nothing too crazy, but I absolutely hate snakes. Spring, summer time here in Utah, all the garden snakes are out in the sun and hiding in cracks in the porches or the sidewalks. I wanted to see some doorbell cameras of me freaking the fuck out just as I am about to step on them, walking up to the porch and jumping off the porch or over the flower beds, onto the grass, taking a detour back to my truck.
Yeah, that'd be you, right?
110%. Yes, sir. This one here is from Rickstar. Rick says, apart from constantly seeing coyotes in the new residential area, I was driving on this long, twisty road where squirrels run out in traffic. The squirrel runs out in front of me, and I wasn't able to slow down in time. I looked in the side mirror and saw I had injured it and was still on the road trying to move. There was nowhere to pull over, so I could try to help move it away from the road. Felt bad about it the whole day.
Yeah, I mean, accidents happen with that. I know it does suck, especially when you see it. That would suck.
They don't die immediately,
Yeah.
This one here is from the Cowboy Cardboard Warrior. Says, I was constantly attacked by a rooster at this one house. I told the owner, and they said if they came home and it was dead, they would understand why. And then one day, it was just gone. I guess it finally attacked its owner.
Good riddance.
Cock-a-doodle-doo. This one here is from Ruger. What up, Ruger? Derek. What up, Derek? Derek says, I once had a ringneck pheasant fly in my windshield and shatter it.
Oh.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Damn.
That'd be enough to scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, but you ain't kidding. That would scare the crap out of me, too. This one here is from Cameron. Cam Sova says, had a rooster come at me one time, flung up at my face with its talons spread out. I had no choice but to swing on the fella with a dyad in my hand and knock him down. Wouldn't call it a cockfight, but more of a cock spat, and he waddled off. Mean old bird.
Them fucking things are assholes, man. The trend continues.
I mean, we're worried about, like, dogs. We got to be worried about turkeys and roosters now and shit. Like,
yeah, dude, because they're fucking, they ain't no joke.
Yep. This next one is from Starla. What up, Starla? Starla says, peacocks. Those fuckers don't like the sound of our truck and would fly and chase us down the road. The first time I freaked out because they make weird noises and you can't see them because of all the bushes on the road. Yeah, peacocks are like, what? Or some shit. Like, they make some, like, high fucking...
And they got them crazy-ass feathers. They get big.
Dude, yeah, when they open, their things are huge. They are huge. This one here is from Girl Dad. Girl Dad said, almost killed a deer. Fucker came out of nowhere going up the mountain. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, at least you didn't get him, Ernie.
Here's another one from that dude, Luke and Man. Says, there were two tom turkeys that, wait a second. We already read that one?
I believe you did, yeah.
Oh, that's weird. It commented twice. Look at that. So why did all of them comment twice? That's so weird.
I think because you put it back up again, maybe. I don't.
Maybe. This one here is from... No, maybe not. Maybe that is all of them.
Rocky Mountain Rots. Did you get that one? That's what I'm looking at. Delivering in Colorado, I always see deer, elk, turkeys, and the occasional bear. But one day delivering around a state park, there walked up to a house and there were some massive mule deer. Customer comes out and says, "Do you want to feed them?" Well, of course I did, and I fed them some crackers. The video is somewhere on my Instagram. I'm going to have to check that one out. Mule deer. See, that's another fucking branded
that's another
deer,
form.
dude.
Yeah.
Just
weird. So weird. This one, though, I did not read yet. This one's from Old Ballbeard Bastard. Said, I had to walk off a driveway once because of a big construction gravel. I was walking down the hill scanning the package when I heard something close by. I thought it was his dog. I thought if this is a dog, I'm fucked. Long before my dog bite, by the way. I looked up and there was a fucking zebra. How the fuck do you approach a damn zebra? While I was there, a supervisor called me to meet me with a package and asked me where I was. So I told him I was in Africa and sent him a picture of it.
Yeah,
a zebra.
Random as fuck. Random as fuck in that area.
That is crazy. That's, yeah. A zebra. What the fuck?
Dude,
Yeah, that one's definitely wild.
Did you see?
That one's definitely wild.
The DCP and WUPS, man.
Yeah, I was just about to read that one here.
Go ahead.
A couple months back, I was delivering one of those stupid heavy-ass beds, and this older lady said she would make it worth my while if I took it into her bedroom. Does that count? Hashtag cougar.
That's fucking funny.
That is pretty good. Yes, and then you got the Rocky Mountain Rots one. Yeah, yep. Yes, that's all of them. My goodness. Huge shout out to all of you guys that took the time to type all those out.
Thanks for
amazing. You guys are fucking amazing. So, well, I think that's gonna do it, man. You guys got a special one here, man, this week, an hour and a half long.
And I'm crazy because I've been up since 3. I'm closing in on 20. Well, I still got a little while for 24 hours. 3:30 a.m. would be 24 hours. So I'm glad this one rocked out. I felt good.
Hell yeah. So again, guys, thank you all for joining us today on this evening. For those that are watching live, shout out to all of you guys. Hey, go follow Luke at Real Nomad Delivery Guy. Go on Instagram. Go follow our podcast page as well at AITD Pod if you're new here. And yeah, just let's have some fun. Let's have some fun out there fucking throwing cardboard around, huh? Not throwing. I mean, we picked them up and put them down nicely on the porches.
In the power zone.
Work within your power zone. Shoulder width apart. Rusty Trombone. Guys, thank you all for joining us. We will catch everybody next week.
Later, everybody. Oh, shit.